The history of hairstyles is a reflection of changing cultural, social, and technological influences throughout human history. Hairstyles have been used for self-expression, religious significance, social status, and fashion. Here's an overview of the history of hairstyles. Prehistoric and ancient times. Prehistoric hairstyles. Early humans likely had simple hairstyles consisting of loose, unstyled hair. The primary purpose was to keep hair out of the face. Ancient Egypt. Egyptians, both men and women, styled their hair using various products like beeswax and oils. Wigs were also commonly worn, often made from human hair or vegetable fibers. Ancient Greece and Rome. In ancient Greece, elaborate hairstyles were popular, especially among women. Braids, curls, and intricate updos were common. In ancient Rome, hairstyles evolved to be more extravagant and were often adorned with jewelry and accessories. In China, Chinese hairstyles varied by region and dynasty but often featured long, black hair that was styled with elaborate pins, combs, and hairpieces. Middle Ages and Renaissance. Medieval Europe. During the Middle Ages, hairstyles were influenced by religion and social class. For example, Christian monks often shaved their heads, while nobility and the upper class might wear elaborate headdresses. Renaissance. The Renaissance period saw a return to classical styles, with women favoring high foreheads and elaborate, voluminous hairstyles. Wigs and hairpieces were commonly used. 17th to 19th centuries. Baroque and Rococo. The 17th and 18th centuries in Europe saw extravagant, powdered wigs and elaborate hairstyles, especially among the aristocracy. Neoclassical. Inspired by ancient Greek and Roman art, neoclassical hairstyles featured simple, natural-looking arrangements with loose curls. Victorian era. In the 19th century, Queen Victoria's influence led to a preference for modest, structured hairstyles, often adorned with braids, ribbons, and flowers. 20th century and beyond. The 1920s. The Roaring Twenties brought about the iconic bob haircut for women, reflecting the spirit of rebellion and liberation. The 1950s. The 1950s saw a return to more conservative hairstyles, with women favoring sleek, polished looks, and men often sporting short, clean-cut styles. The 1960s and 1970s. The counterculture movements of the 60s and 70s brought about the popularity of long, natural hair, as well as more experimental and unisex hairstyles. The 1980s and 1990s. These decades were characterized by bold, often eccentric hairstyles, with trends like mullets, perms, and punk-inspired cuts. The 21st century. Modern hairstyles are diverse and influenced by global culture and technology. Short, long, natural, and vibrant colored hairstyles coexist as individuals have greater freedom to express themselves through their hair. The history of human hair and body hair is a complex and multifaceted one, shaped by a combination of evolutionary, cultural, and social factors. Here's an overview of the history of hair and body hair in human evolution and culture. Evolutionary history. Early human ancestors. It is believed that early human ancestors were covered in body hair, much like other primates, as a way to regulate body temperature, provide protection from the environment, and potentially for social signaling. Loss of body hair. As our ancestors began to walk upright and adapt to a more terrestrial lifestyle, they gradually lost much of their body hair. This may have been advantageous for thermoregulation, as less hair allowed for better heat dissipation while walking and running. Hair on the head. Hair on the head likely remained, at least in part, to provide protection from the sun and to serve as a sensory organ. Cultural and social factors. Early grooming practices. Archaeological evidence suggests that early humans used sharp tools, such as flint knives, to groom and remove unwanted body hair. This may have been for hygiene reasons or for cultural and social purposes. Cultural variations. Different cultures and societies have had varying attitudes toward body hair throughout history. In some cultures, body hair has been celebrated and embraced, while in others, it has been removed or modified in various ways. Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians are known to have removed body hair, including using sugaring or waxing methods. Hairlessness was associated with cleanliness and aesthetic ideals. Ancient Greece and Rome. In ancient Greece and Rome, body hair removal was common, especially among the elite. Hairlessness was seen as a sign of beauty and refinement. Middle Ages and Renaissance. During the Middle Ages in Europe, body hair removal was less common. However, it made a resurgence during the Renaissance when European nobility adopted more elaborate grooming practices. Modern era. The 20th century saw the widespread commercialization of razors and depilatory creams, making hair removal more accessible. Social and fashion trends have continued to influence body hair preferences. Contemporary perspectives. Today, attitudes toward body hair vary widely around the world. Some individuals choose to remove body hair for aesthetic or cultural reasons, while others embrace their natural hair. Body hair acceptance movements. In recent years, there has been a growing movement promoting body hair acceptance and challenging traditional beauty standards. Some individuals choose not to remove body hair as a form of self-expression and empowerment.
In summary, the history of hair and body hair in humans is deeply intertwined with our evolutionary development and cultural practices. From functional aspects like thermoregulation to social and aesthetic considerations, the role and treatment of hair have evolved over time and continue to evolve in contemporary society.
The history of depilatory methods dates back thousands of years, as humans have sought to remove unwanted body hair for various reasons, including cultural, religious, and aesthetic considerations. Here's a brief overview of the historical development of depilatory methods. Ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians are among the earliest known cultures to have practiced hair removal. They used a variety of methods, including tweezing with seashells or pumice stones, as well as sugaring, a technique that involved using a sticky paste made from sugar, water, and lemon juice to remove hair. Ancient Greece and Rome. In ancient Greece and Rome, hair removal was considered a mark of cleanliness and beauty. People used razors made of various materials, such as bronze or iron, to shave their bodies. Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, hair removal practices waned in Europe, influenced in part by the conservative attitudes of the time. However, in some regions, women continued to remove facial hair using various homemade concoctions. Renaissance and Enlightenment. The Renaissance period saw a resurgence in the practice of hair removal in Europe, particularly among the upper classes. Women often used pumice stones or abrasives to remove hair. In the 18th century, a French barber named Jean-Jacques Perret invented the first straight razor, which made shaving easier and more accessible. 19th century. With the Industrial Revolution came innovations in personal grooming products. Safety razors were introduced in the mid-19th century, making shaving more convenient and less risky. Waxing also gained popularity during this period. 20th century. The 20th century witnessed significant advancements in depilatory methods. In 1915, King C. Gillette introduced the first disposable razor blade, revolutionizing the shaving industry. In the 1930s, a chemical depilatory cream called Nair was developed, providing a less painful alternative to waxing or shaving. Electrolysis, a method of hair removal using electrical currents, also gained traction during this period. Modern era. In the latter half of the 20th century, laser hair removal technology was developed, offering a longer-lasting solution to hair removal. Laser hair removal utilizes concentrated beams of light to target and destroy hair follicles. This method has become increasingly popular and accessible in recent decades. 21st century. In the 21st century, hair removal methods have continued to evolve. Epilators, which use rotating tweezers to pull out hair from the root, have gained popularity. Additionally, advancements in laser hair removal technology have made the procedure more effective and accessible to a broader range of people. Today, depilatory methods have diversified, offering a range of options for individuals to choose from, including shaving, waxing, threading, sugaring, depilatory creams, laser hair removal, and electrolysis. The choice of method often depends on individual preferences, pain tolerance, budget, and desired results. Wigs have a long and fascinating history that spans many cultures and centuries. Here is an overview of the history of wigs. Ancient Egypt. Wigs can be traced back as far as ancient Egypt, around 2700 BCE. Egyptians wore wigs for both practical and symbolic reasons. They shaved their heads to avoid lice and the hot desert sun, but also believed that wigs had protective and magical properties. Wigs were made from human hair, animal hair, and various materials. Ancient Greece and Rome. Wigs were commonly worn in ancient Greece and Rome, primarily as a fashion statement and symbol of social status. They were made from human hair, animal hair, and even plant fibers. Wigs became more elaborate during this time, with intricate styles and decorations. 16th and 17th centuries, wigs experienced a resurgence in Europe during the Renaissance period. In the 16th century, European royalty and nobility adopted the trend of wearing elaborate wigs, often powdered or scented, as a sign of affluence and fashion. These wigs were made from human, horse, or goat hair and were styled to be highly extravagant. 18th century. The 18th century in Europe saw the pinnacle of wig fashion. Wigs became larger, more ornate, and more extravagantly styled. French royalty, in particular, set the trends for increasingly elaborate and towering coiffures. Wigs were made using a variety of materials and were considered a necessary accessory for the fashionable elite. Late 18th to early 19th century. The late 18th century marked the decline of wig fashion in Europe. The French Revolution and changing social attitudes led to a shift away from wigs among the upper classes. Shorter, more natural hairstyles became popular, and the use of wigs declined significantly. 19th century. While wigs fell out of favor in much of Europe, they continued to be worn in certain contexts, such as the legal profession and the British court. During this period, wigs were typically more subdued and less extravagant than their 18th century counterparts. 20th century. In the early 20th century, wigs experienced a resurgence in popularity, primarily as a fashion accessory for women. Hollywood stars helped popularize wigs in the entertainment industry. In the mid-20th century, synthetic wigs were developed, making wigs more affordable and accessible. Contemporary era, wigs continue to be worn for various reasons today, including fashion, costume, and medical reasons. Modern wigs are made from a variety of materials, including human hair, synthetic fibers, and blends. They are available in a wide range of styles, colors, and price points. In contemporary society, wigs are used not only for aesthetic purposes, but also for practical and medical reasons, making them a versatile and culturally significant accessory with a rich history. The history of beauty salons is a reflection of changing beauty ideals, social norms, and technological advancements throughout the centuries. Here's a brief overview of the evolution of beauty salons. Ancient civilizations, beauty treatments and rituals have been a part of human culture for millennia. In ancient civilizations like Egypt, Greece, and Rome, people visited public baths and grooming facilities where they could receive various beauty treatments, including hair styling, skincare, and massages. These early establishments laid the foundation for the modern beauty salon. Renaissance and Baroque eras. During the Renaissance and Baroque periods in Europe, beauty standards were highly emphasized, especially among the upper classes. Aristocrats and royalty employed personal attendants who provided hairdressing and makeup services. These attendants were often skilled in various grooming techniques and catered exclusively to the elite. 19th century. The 19th century saw the emergence of beauty parlors and hairdressing salons as distinct businesses. Women began to frequent these establishments for hair styling, make-up application, and other beauty treatments. One notable figure from this era is Madam C.J. Walker, an African-American entrepreneur who established a successful line of hair care and beauty products and opened a beauty school. 20th century. The beauty salon industry expanded rapidly in the 20th century. With the advent of electricity, salons could offer a wider range of services, including hair cutting, coloring, perming, and facials. Beauty schools and vocational training programs were established to train professionals in these skills. Beauty products and cosmetics also became more accessible to the general public. Mid-20th century, the 1950s and 1960s marked a golden era for beauty salons. The popularity of beauty culture and the glamour look fueled demand for salon services. Iconic hairdressers and beauticians, such as Vidal Sassoon and Helena Rubinstein, rose to prominence during this time. Late 20th century, the beauty industry continued to evolve, with the introduction of new services and technologies. Nail salons, tanning salons, and spa services became increasingly popular. Advancements in hair care products, cosmetics, and equipment also influenced the salon industry. 21st century. The 21st century has witnessed further advancements in beauty salon technology and services. Salons now offer a wide range of treatments, including laser hair removal, Botox injections, and non-surgical cosmetic procedures. The rise of social media and online marketing has allowed salons to promote their services and connect with customers more effectively. Wellness and holistic beauty. In recent years, there has been a growing emphasis on holistic beauty and wellness in salons. Many establishments offer services that focus on overall well-being, including spa treatments, aromatherapy, and mindfulness practices. Today, beauty salons are an integral part of the beauty and grooming industry, catering to diverse clientele seeking a wide range of services to enhance their appearance and well-being. The industry continues to evolve in response to changing trends, technology. Culture and technology of various civilizations. Here's a brief overview of the history of jewelry. Prehistoric jewelry. The earliest jewelry was likely made from materials such as shells, bones, teeth, and stones. These pieces served both functional and decorative purposes. The use of jewelry by prehistoric humans dates back tens of thousands of years, as evidenced by archaeological discoveries of jewelry in caves and burial sites. Ancient civilizations. Ancient Egypt. Jewelry held immense importance in ancient Egyptian society. It was worn by both the living and the deceased. Precious metals like gold and gemstones were highly prized for jewelry making. Mesopotamia. The Sumerians and Babylonians created intricate jewelry using materials like gold, silver, lapis lazuli, and carnelian. Cylinder seals were also used as jewelry. Ancient Greece and Rome. Jewelry in these civilizations often featured motifs inspired by mythology and nature. Gold, silver, and gemstones were commonly used. Laurel wreaths, fibulae, and signet rings were popular items. Ancient India. Indian jewelry featured intricate designs, particularly in the form of elaborate necklaces, earrings, and bangles. The use of precious metals and gemstones was common. Ancient China. Chinese jewelry was known for its symbolism and intricate filigree work. Jade was highly prized, along with gold and silver. Medieval and Renaissance jewelry. The Middle Ages saw the continued use of jewelry in the form of religious icons, brooches, rings, and illuminated manuscripts. The Renaissance brought a revival of interest in classical art and culture, influencing jewelry designs. Enameling and gem-cutting techniques advanced during this period. Victorian era. The Victorian era saw a wide variety of jewelry styles, from romantic and sentimental pieces like lockets and mourning jewelry to ornate and intricate designs. The discovery of new gem sources, such as diamonds in South Africa, led to increased use of these gemstones in jewelry. Art Nouveau and Art Deco. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the emergence of distinct jewelry movements. Art Nouveau jewelry was characterized by flowing, organic designs, while Art Deco featured geometric and symmetrical patterns. Platinum became a popular metal during the Art Deco period due to its strength and ability to hold gemstones securely. Contemporary jewelry. Modern jewelry design spans a wide range of styles, materials, and techniques. Contemporary jewelers often experiment with unconventional materials and concepts. Technology has played a significant role in jewelry production, with the use of CAD CAM for designing and 3D printing for creating intricate pieces. Ethical and sustainable practices have gained importance in recent years, influencing the use of recycled materials and responsible sourcing of gemstones. Today, jewelry continues to be a means of personal expression, symbolizing cultural heritage, love, status, and individual taste. The history of jewelry is a testament to human creativity and craftsmanship throughout the ages,